Hi, it's Dave Diegelman with Equity Real Estate, here to do our November 2025 monthly marketing report for real estate in southern Utah. Let's look at the numbers. Well, the first thing we're going to see is the sold listings. And right now, at the end of October, we ended with 412 sold listings. Last year, at the end of November, 361. So although that looks like it's up a little bit, our market usually does drop down a little bit during the month of October, November. Listing prices, this is the median sold price, $515,595. Last year it was at $479,000 and some change. So not too much difference there really, because this is not taking like homes and comparing them. It's just where our median ends up going to, and we'll look at that in the categories down below. Absorption rate, this is how many months of inventory we have balanced out with how many homes are selling. Right now we're at an all-time high of almost 5.9, and last year, the end of November, we were at 4.97, so that's a huge increase. Sold to list ratio, this looks like it's a free fall, but it's going from 96.2 last year, and right now it's at 95.2, so it's not a ton of difference really. But what that means is the houses that are selling are listed close within 5% of the selling price, what the comps are of that home. Days on the market. Right now we're at 80 days on the market, and that's down from 83 days on the market. Last year at the end of November, it was about 69 days on the market. So let's look at the categories of different homes and our sold listings right here. First of all, you can see the biggest category that we have numbers wise is going to be 500 to 749,000. So if we look at this, you can see the strongest category is 500 to 749,000. And that's where the majority of our marketplace is. It grew by 12.6%. And then from there, interestingly, we go to the 350 to 399. So a lot of condos are in this price point. And there are some single family detached homes, but usually it's single wides, occasionally double wides in this area. And so it's good to see that we have some inventory down there. However, the numbers aren't huge, but that's our second category. Third category that we have is going to be the 400 to 449. And this is where our starter homes and kind of nicer condos are coming in at. And that's down 2% from last year. Whereas the 450 to 499 is up 2.5% from last year. And then 750 to a million is down by 2.5%. Some decent numbers there, 444 year to date. And then the 1 to 2 million has jumped way up, but not over last year. It's down 3%, 3.6% from last year. But overall, that's been a steadily growing market. We have 337 units that have closed this year. 3 to 4 million and 5 million plus just don't have enough numbers in there to really draw any conclusions. However, I can tell you that we are up 25% on 3 to 5 million dollar sales. And that is fairly significant, but again, we're not dealing with high numbers. I suspect we'll see more of that come up in the next few years. If we go look at our active listings, the ones on the market right now, you can see that, again, the numbers are going to reflect what was going on above. Our biggest category by far is 500 to 749. And then it goes into the 750 to a million. And strangely, 350 to 399 comes after that. And then after that is a million to 2 million. So, we have a kind of a big increase in the upper ends of those categories. The new listings coming on the market kind of reflect the same thing, where the biggest number is 500 to 749. And then it goes into a couple different areas, but certainly 750 to a million is one of the next areas. 350 to 400 is next, and then a million to 2 million is next. So we definitely have a lot of inventory coming on in those areas. So I also wanted to mention our monthly newsletter, which goes into a lot more details about what we're talking about right now. And there's several different areas that I want to talk about that are in the newsworthy section. The first is the deal breaker, buying a house that needs a new roof, or for that matter, buying a house that needs anything significant when you're under contract and this gets sprung upon you. In my last 23, 24 years of doing this business, I've run into this dozens of times. And I can tell you it's never fun, but there are certain things that make things work between both the buyer and the seller. And again, if it's not a win-win, it's not going to go forward and close. So we talk about some of the strategies for both buyers and sellers when you're faced in that predicament. So that's an interesting one. Falling mortgage rates. We're down, our mortgage rates, you can see the numbers on this report also, but they went down into the low sixes, 6.15, 6.25. And I predicted a year ago it would probably go into the high fives, 5.75. And I think we're going to see that in the next 6 months, possibly, but I sure wouldn't let that govern why I am buying a house at this time versus that time. And this does go into that a little bit. Also, what the government shutdown kind of did to our housing market and how it's affected it. So we talk about a little bit about the social sentiment, but also the actual numbers and what's taking place right now. Tax dynamics, migration from different areas, and 1031 exchanges. So I've done, probably dozens, maybe even 100 or so 1031 exchanges in my career. And a lot of people are confused about what it actually means. So this article kind of explores that. And certainly if you have any more questions, you can call me about that. But it's typically not for a primary residence, although sometimes people declare another property their primary and wait for a few years for it to be an income property and then exchange it. So if you're interested in learning about the strategies of that, give me a call. I'll give you my number at the end of this. And then the truth about selling existing luxury homes in Utah. We did an in-depth look at the statistics behind homes that were built prior to 2015. So existing homes that are at least 10 years old in the $1 to $2 million range. And it's kind of shocking, probably in a good way for most of you, but it's shocking to see what the actual numbers are versus what the social sentiment is on this. So that's an awesome article with a lot of details, and it tells a lot about our luxury marketplace in that category. So there's a lot more that's in there. If you want to go to it, you can go to our real estate website, which is utahdreamhomes.com, which is utdreamhomes.com, and just go to the blog section, and the blog will lead you to the actual online version of it. Also, if you're looking for a home to buy or sell, it's a great resource, utahdreamhomes.com. And if I can help you out with any questions, feel free to give me a call. My direct private line is 435-703-4041. Well, with that, have a blessed holiday season. Get full of turkey, and we will talk soon.